Ever since the introduction of Rocket League in 2015, we've seen players grow from this.
Swarm already look to me like the more dominant team this game, and they're going to get a goal as well in the first minute. That's
to this.
For their own good, and it's leading to opportunities like this. Ahmad off this dealing. Oh, go! Ahmad with the 7 from heaven.
Now, of course, when we look at that first clip, we can see that people can master being bad at Rocket League. But can anyone ever master being perfect at Rocket League? Now, obviously, a player like me cannot be used as an example for today. However, we're going to use examples of pros. The pros are going to be our examples today. However, before we show these pro players at their peak and finest in the biggest of stages, let's talk about Rocket League first. Or so let's ask the question, what is Rocket League? Well, to put it in simple terms, Rocket League is car soccer. Now, I'm sure we don't have to go over that, but what I do mean is this. As of right now, Rocket League is one of the most physical and hardest mechanical games to master in the world right now. People are going to come at me for that, but I'm telling you, it really is. Now, I know all of our Valorant lovers and our COD lovers and our Fortnite lovers are going to come in my comments and be like, no, Nashi, you'll never play these games. And you're right. You're right. I've never played those games to the extent that I've played this stupid game. But if you look at those games, there's a consistent way to play those games. There's only one real way to play any of those games. In Fortnite, all you do is build and shoot. In COD, you slide and shoot. In Valorant, you crouch and shoot. The only things these games have in common is shooting accuracy, and as long as you can get that down, then you're set for any 3 of those games. In Rocket League, it is much different, and I'm about to explain how it is much different. Firstly, Rocket League is a much more mechanical game than all 3 of those games combined. And that's something that's just straight up undeniable, really, because all the 3 other games require one mechanic, and that's just shooting. It's literally the shooting accuracy is the mechanic in those games. And I know they're hard to perfect, but they're not as diverse as Rocket League. Rocket League consists of mechanics like flip resets, flicks, aerials, simple aerials. Players, you don't see using them until maybe high plat, low diamond. Whereas in these other games, people are already perfecting their aim by like gold 3 or plat 1. Secondly, Rocket League is ever evolving. In Rocket League, there's always something new to learn. There's never a point where it's just plateaus and there's nothing else to learn. No. Everything needs to be learned to be higher or better than majority of the players in the game. You don't see that really often in many other games. And I can't really think of any on the top of my head, but I do know that there are some games that definitely have that. But that's besides the point. In Rocket League, if you're not constantly kept up with the meta, you're never going to elevate yourself enough. You're never going to be that little bit better than the guy under you or the guy on top of you. You're never going to be that. There's still so much in Rocket League that is undiscovered and that nobody, even the best, don't know about. And that's what makes this game so crazy. And that's why it is so, I'm gonna say impossible, because it is so impossible to master a game that is ever changing. The amount of muscle memory you need on your controller, the amount of ball control you need, just the air, everything just adds together. It's like spitting at you. And finally, my last reason is Rocket League requires so much IQ, so much just in memory, just in how intelligent you are in playing the game. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I think games like Valorant, Fortnite, and Call of Duty especially require much more IQ than a game like Rocket League does, because then again, you're avoiding death in those games. So it's not all about shooting, it's about like how you can outplay your opponent. But Rocket League requires a similar amount. And I'm not gonna say the exact amount, because obviously, you know, Rocket League isn't, you don't have to be that smart to be good at Rocket League. You can be a little stupid. But in order to break into those like top 5%, top 1% especially, you need to be like top 1% smart. Many people seem to take that fact away from Rocket League. I don't know why, because I guess they've just never played in a high level lobby. And I'm not gonna sit here and lie and I've played in SSL lobby. I have never played in SSL lobby before, but I've played in like I've played in Grand Champ 2 lobbies, high Grand Champ 2, low Grand Champ 3, and you need much more than mechanics if you want to get to the top. Now let's combine the aspect of mechanics and IQ into a player and create a player we know as Justin the man Justin with the 0-second goal that sparked Rocket League and made it into one of the growing big. Now let's all just take a look at this insane Justin hit that one of probably the smartest and most mechanical players we know right now, and he made it look unbelievably easy. But in all actuality, do we really think this man has mastered the game of Rocket League? One of the best in the world? And the answer to that is no, he hasn't. And I'm 100% sure he would agree with what I'm saying. And this isn't me like ripping on him or any other pro player, because to be honest, I'm nowhere near these guys. These guys are absolutely insane. These guys are miles better than me. But what I'm trying to say is even the best at this game can still be better. And that's what differs Rocket League from any other game. It's that there's no real ceiling to how much you can grow. There's always another step you can take in this game. Whether it's how you play, whether it's the way you play, whether it's the mechanics you use, whether it's the teammates, there's always something that you can elevate your level with and be better than the next guy. Now let's look at another example with a man named Arsenal, the man himself. I don't know if he still plays on SSG anymore. All I know is that this man is an absolute beast at this game. And I seen a clip of him recently with this absolute abysmal fake. This was just diabolical, I'm not gonna lie to you. And then he just hits him with this mechanic right here. It's just insane. And this is in RLCS. That's what makes this clip so much better and so much more insane than what it really is. Now let's shift over to our final example, and that example is gonna be of AJ. I think he used to play on FaZe Clan. I don't know if he still plays on there anymore, but I do know he used to play on FaZe Clan, and he's one of the better, definitely one of the better pros out there. Well, definitely one of the better players out there. I don't know if he still is anymore. I just know he was really good when this took, or at this time, I know that. And even the best at this game can make such soft mistakes. Like that's such like a diamond level mistake. Like that's, you know, and even though you don't see this often, it's just like that's where the difference is. That's the difference. That's what makes the difference. It's those small mistakes that cost you so much and make you look so much lower than you actually are. And those are what stop you from taking that next step. You know what I'm trying to say? Now obviously that had absolutely no effect on the man's legacy or his Rocket League journey to be the best, because he's obviously one of the best, but it's definitely something he kept in the back of his mind. Now, of course, mastering game doesn't mean you have to be absolutely perfect at every single thing you do, but you do have to perfect the basics. And I know a mistake can happen every once in a while, but if you don't perfect the basics, you're going to pay the consequences in whatever rank you sit in or in whatever league you play in. And that goes for any game. That doesn't just go for Rocket League. But in Rocket League is where you see it come to light the absolute most. Now, if there's one thing we can conclude from today, it is 100%. Not that Rocket League is the hardest game ever, because, you know, it is a very controversial topic. That is definitely something arguable. But what today did show is that Rocket League cannot really be mastered. You can't master a game that's ever evolving, ever becoming more different as the time goes on. If we compare 2015 Rocket League to 2023 Rocket League, there is an absolutely diabolical difference between the two. And I'm sure 99.9% of people that play Rocket League would say the exact same thing, or that have played since that time. And you don't even need to play it from that time to know that it's definitely different. You can just watch a clip from 2015 and 2023 and you'll discover why. And I'm sure if Rocket League lasts 5-10 more years, which I'm sure it probably will, you're going to see a difference from 2023 to whatever year Rocket League lasts until. And so that is exactly why Rocket League cannot be mastered. Well, that's all for today, folks. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.